Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Untitled Tarot and welcome for your reading for the new moon in Aries for April 2021. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time discussing the astrology of the moon because Saturday evening, 6 p.m. GMT, so 1 p.m. Eastern and 10 a.m. Pacific, I'll be live streaming for the new moon. I'll be doing readings there as well. And also, I'll be having on astrologer David Fisher so we can pick apart the new moon on the astrology level. As ever, this is a general reading, or will be once I cover what I've pulled out of the new moon. And general reading rules apply. You know, there's an intro here with a timestamp below, so you can fast forward to the reading, one if you want to, but please hang around once for this intro, because I would like you to watch your sun, your moon, and your rising sign, especially your rising sign. That's the one that I always feel is the most important. But hey, it's a new moon. Watch your moon sign. But in the first, I'm just going to pick out some aspects. It's probably the wrong word to use in this case. Some significations of this new moon. But as a general reading, you know, general reading rules will apply. Timing's not absolute. Roles can get reversed. You know the plot by now. And although you can ask a question prior to the reading, so you can have a think about that while I'm going through the moon itself, then hopefully that reading will give you some form of answer and you'll be able to tell if it's not a reading for you. It's a Celtic cross this time, so it's still, I don't like that idea of take what resonates. It's either the lot or nothing. That's the way my mind works. Whole thing or nothing at all. But again, with a Celtic cross, there is an element of past and present, so you'll be able to tell whether it's for you or not. Right, let's get on to this moon, 22 degrees Aries. Now, on the Facebook page for this channel, I've already posted a lot of the astrologers discussing this new moon, and every time I find a new show, I'll be posting that up there as well. So as you know, with the sun ingress into Aries, that's the start of the astrological new year. But it's almost like that between the sun ingress into Aries and the new moon in Aries is almost like a planning time, a waiting time, a time of potential. And the new moon in Aries is what really kicks the year off. Now, this year it's at 22 degrees Aries and is ruled by the angel Melahel, who as a degree angel represents sharing the flame, a healing capacity. That's good signs to start off with. Now, as one of the Shem HaMephorash, that's the angels who bear the name of God, and the meaning of Melahel's name is the God who deflects the evil. Now, all of these angels have 5 points around the zodiac, and I've been drawn recently to study these 5 points because, hey, that's where my background is. I want to know about the pentagrams. So, Melahel, you'd think all of them, but not according to the reference I've been looking at. But Melahel's 5 points do indeed form a pentagram, as do most of the degree angels, but strangely not all of them. Nithaya is one that doesn't. So if you have planets, obviously at 22 degrees Aries, but also 4 degrees Cancer, 16 degrees Virgo, 28 degrees Scorpio, or 10 degrees Aquarius, this could be a wonderful new moon to start something really, really creative, because it's a direct pentagram, quintile aspects between the various points, obviously, and there can be some wonderful energies being brought up by that. The fact that it's at 22 degrees, 24 minutes, is it 24 minutes? Yeah, 24 minutes Aries. It's in the first half of 22 degrees, because looking at the symbols, this degree is a little bit double-edged. But just going back to that pentagram, this is also the pentagram of the Saturn of Dion Fortune of the Order of the Golden Dawn. So if you know anything about Dion Fortune, you know that I expect setting intentions, doing some form of creative magic, or doing some form of creative project, starting it on the 3 days of this new moon to have some extra whammy, extra blessing, especially if you invoke the angel Melahel in this process. You know, even if it's you're just about to put paintbrush to canvas and say, Melahel, assist me with this. Angels need permission. They can't just do what they're designed to do without your permission, because they will always respect your free will. And Melahel especially is about those healing efforts. Supports the development of your healing gifts, I'm looking at right now, and helps you to accept those parts of you that you feel are hard to love. Restores and revitalizes with the energy of love. That's coming from an Aurosoma site that I used to think Aurosoma was a bit weird, and then I tried using it one time, only the one bottle, but I had spectacular results. So if you find one of those, what they called essences that you're drawn to, go for it. Now, Melahel is a guardian angel of a period of Cancer, July the 12th to the 16th. So if you are Cancer, Sun, Moon or Rising, this should also be very, very useful to work with Melahel in your new creative project. And in terms of doing the magic, there is, now, where is it? Oops, I've put it in the wrong place. So there is, from Franz Barden, he, through his magical work, he found names and sigils for what he called the degree heads, those beings that exemplify, can explain the energy of each individual degree of the zodiac, as beings that a magician can evoke. Now, the name of the entity or degree head for 22 degrees Aries is Belisarius. Now, quoting from Barden's notes, this head, like the two foregoing ones, is superior to the others in wisdom, cleverness, and sagacity. And he teaches the magician to apply the laws of the zone girdling the earth by the Akasha principle to realize them in the physical world. Belisarius is always willing to help the magician in any respect. So, as well as invoking Melahel, maybe have a little word with Belisarius as well. And what that phrase meant in English, he teaches the magician to apply the laws of the zone girdling the earth, i.e. the zodiac, the ecliptic, by the Akasha principle to realize them in the physical world. This, now, I am not a fan of quite a lot of the manifestation philosophies. I think it's taken a perfectly valid magical law and forgotten the fact that there's numerous others, depending on who you listen to. There's 6 others or there's 21 others, you know. So 22 would figure with the major arcana, really, wouldn't it? Or the tree of life. So even with that, with the description of Belisarius and his capabilities, that it's the secret incarnate, you know. So which is perfect for setting things into motion. With Melahel's, getting my teeth tongue-tied, Melahel's healing influence as well, because hey, world needs a lot of healing at the minute, doesn't it? So I don't think there's any of us in the life that couldn't do with a little smattering of some good healing energy, either for ourselves or that we can then radiate out into the world in a good hippie woo-woo fashion, and actually do some good and improve the world. Now, this degree says take a chance. Looking at the Chandra symbol, the inside degree of this degree is Aries 23, because 22 degrees Aries to 23 degrees Aries is the 23rd degree, is a bottle labelled Drink Me. Now, if you remember, this is what made Alice in Wonderland shrink. The interpretation written from Inside Degrees is the force of events sweeps away who we thought we were and plunges us to a deeper place beyond the known. The sheer immediacy, the sudden clarity shifts mountains of intent into a different octave altogether. Being taken by storm is the most direct path from here to there. And when cosmic worlds are urgently coming through, the only smart thing to do is to step aside and make a huge amount of room for unexpected guests at events that you could never have arranged in your wildest dreams. Now, that, I think, is beautiful. Another interpretation says the bottle asks you to try something whose results you won't know until you do it. Take a chance. Just as the painter applies successive layers of paint to see what will happen. We tend to think it's good to be careful, but not always. This degree has a refreshing lack of caution that most often carries it to surprising and wondrous places. So we've got that manifestation energy. We've got that healing energy. Now, this is not something that's just naturally going to come in. This is something that you have to actually ask for and intend to use, because intent is everything. But there's, like I say, this degree is a little double-edged. Let's have a look at the symbols. I'm looking at the wrong page here. Was it Kosminski? Right, the Safarial degree symbol says it is a degree of weakness. Adriana Corelli says it's a degree of fatality. Now, that is not as bad as what it sounds. I'm not talking about a Mortal Kombat fatality. It's setting something into motion karmically and receiving karma where required. I mean, okay, we've just had a year's worth of zodiac action that's been all about clearing karma, but I personally think that it's probably something that's never going to entirely run out. Now, the Cherubel degree symbol says that in a birth chart, this can be malefic, to put it gently. I don't want to focus on this. Kosminski says it's a symbol of entrapping. So where I'm saying ask Belisarius, Melahel to assist you in your creative projects, ask especially Melahel also for the guidance, if it be right, and it harm none. All of those magical laws, and it harm none is one that tends to be forgotten. People just remember the do as thou wilt to be the whole of the law. It's and it harm none, do as thou wilt be the whole of the law. But you are opening a door to adventure with this particular new moon. Now, speaking of that, it's also something that you may not know what the result is, but you're unlikely, David will correct me Saturday night if I'm wrong, but you're unlikely to be upset in your efforts by some surprise left field event, because the moon is talking to every single planet in the sky bar Uranus. So there isn't that for the moon related projects. I'm not saying something unexpected won't turn up. There's Uranus aspects that's no doubt coming up. I can't remember off the top of my head. But in this one issue that you use the new moon for, this healing new project, what have you, it's not that the result will be unexpected, it's that you don't necessarily know what it is, but it's not something that's going to come and knock you off your feet unless that's in a good way. That's how I would interpret that. I'm putting all this information here for you to make your own mind of and see what feels right. And obviously, it links with your own chart and what way the wind's blowing, and there's Dane Rudyard with the Sabian symbol, a pregnant woman in a light summer dress, are showing it's indicating the conception and gestation, obviously, of the project that you are wanting, that you can use this new moon to come around. He sees this as a degree of inner fulfillment, or the potential of reaching towards inner fulfillment, and it has a keynote of fecundity, harvest. So it's double-edged. Ask for guidance, check that it's with the divine plan, and all the little caveats that you want to put in. And if you don't normally put those in, start. I am not suggesting that your will not be done, but the way I was trained, or the way I was work, was always add that "and it harm none," if this be in line with the divine plan, all those sort of caveats, and then go for it hell for leather, probably the wrong phrase, to see what occurs. And you're giving spirit the freedom to take you to the right place while working on what hopefully feels right for you. So, as I said, ask a question, and you don't have to watch this a second and third time, don't worry. Ask your question and I will bring the cards up. Okay, Capricorn. Now, if you are Capricorn rising, this new moon occurs in your 4th house, all about the home and the roots of your being, which is really interesting considering the cards that I'm seeing here. One thing that I want to draw your attention to first is that at the bottom of the deck, we have the 3 of Swords. Now, you expect that to be pain, heartache, all sorts of misery, but that's not how I'm seeing it here. It's like your heart is on fire for some reason. And it's a good reason, but it is in the face of some form of debate, chaos, fight, combat, something that it's almost something that just erupts out of nowhere. We've got it clarified here by the 8 of Wands. So, like, one minute there's peace, next minute there's all sorts of argy-bargy going around and everyone's shouting at everybody else. Now, opposing this, being the problem here, is the devil, which I need to clarify. But it's almost as if there's the danger here is not wanting to do anything about it, of just going, yeah, whatever, because that's not how you feel. We have the Emperor as to how you feel, and other people pointing out to you here how this situation, I want to say, can be worked to your advantage, but I don't mean it in a way that sounds as selfish as that. I'm work to your advantage to a specific agenda where your heart is really on fire here, because you can act too quickly. You want to make sure that you are not acting out of anger, especially with that Emperor card. You've got full-on Aries energies going on, full moon in Aries, new moon in Aries, and the Emperor. So yeah, don't react in anger when things are going so fast, but do notice that you can take advantage of this situation, and promote something that you feel really very strongly about. This actually opens up a new beginning for you, a new beginning that is something that, with it being the fourth house, it's something that's close to your heart. It's close to how you, not how you identify yourself, but how you want to identify yourself. I get that also with the fact that from the Angelarium we have Keter or Kether, the first Sephiroth, the crown, representing spirituality, representing that first emanation from the Godhead, that first stage in descent from the Word to the material world, that purity, absolute and utter purity with what you are wanting to build. We have the Eight of Pentacles here. So you are setting yourself up on a course of work, and it's going to be more work. It's going to be repetitive, but you are constructing, look at this particular Eight of Pentacles. He's creating a haven for like a dog kennel for a little dog that's sat. I don't know if you can see it from the way it's reflecting, but there's a dog in there. So it's a balancing act to make sure that you do not react to whatever this instigating event is through anger, but that you do take advantage of it. You will find that there is guidance of how to avoid the danger points. But the reason that I'm saying this in this way is also you have, from the Oracle of Heaven and Hell, Sitael, representing the creation of all things. This is a new time, so that's very much a potentiality energy, a new beginning energy, with the Ace of Pentacles here as the foundation of what you've got to build with, that whole new practical, real world, material, day-to-day life, new beginning energy, guided by spirit, bringing in the Six of Cups. Now, although that can represent nostalgia, what I'm seeing here is, fourth house, I'm tempted to say family values, but that's such a misused and misaligned term nowadays. That it's bringing in your ability of how to nurture the people around you. So this argument, this explosion that may well be manipulated by somebody, but who gives a hoot? Because it is opening up a wonderful opportunity for you, because you've had inklings of this before. You've had inklings of this is what I would like to do, this is how I see my ideal world, but it's only now that you really have the opportunity to start setting that into motion. And yes, you know that you are providing yourself with quite a bit of work, but you are building structure. And that's what you like, Capricorn. You like to build structure. Now, the final outcome card here is the Nine of Pentacles, but I'm not seeing that as a solitary thing. I'm seeing that as a peaceful thing, because what I'm really seeing is the time you're passing into is the Eight of Pentacles, and beyond that, the Nine of Pentacles. So 8 to the 9, increase, advancement. Also, nines represent a form of rebirth. You are able to rebirth an entire situation within your life to a way to your liking, to the way where you are defining, your rules, your empire, but in a way that is guided pretty much by an angelic force here, or by a divine force. You are doing this for the right reasons, for the correct response. And you are able to protect and look after those around you, and you are able to nurture those around you. This is a very outward facing, because it's almost like you're coming in as some form of peacemaker and social engineering genius, that is able to make everybody happy whether they like it or not. And that's, you are worried that by doing this you'll be left with nothing, that it all can go wrong, but you believe so strongly in this that you want to go for this new start anyway. And yes, you should. Do not fear that you're going to be left with nothing, because what you're going to be left with will direct you to the right place where you, and pretty obviously others, can seek or receive the shelter that they require, that they deserve. You know, it's giving a space where children can grow up without too much stress, worry, and trauma. You know, where you are able to create an environment which nurtures everybody that is within it, including yourself. This is something that you've dreamt of, and I don't think that you are the only person that's dreamt of it. And pretty much you could have been inspired in this, almost as if it's your dream, but it's somebody else's as well. Only you have the skills to bring this into the real world, and not so much. Their idea maybe, but they will be helping you, not you helping them. Which is I think that's really beautiful. It's a really quick, blunt reading, that, but this. So if you find any confrontation or arguments or fights, combat in any form, you know, with words or with philosophies, with agendas, what have you, that is a boon. That is something that opens up a whole new world for you, where you get to do things for the best reason. This is very outward looking. There's nowhere in here is it talking about purely the development of self. This is an incredibly sort of service to others situation, but obviously through that there is a development of self. But there's also a development of you being you have the opportunity to exercise your sovereignty in a positive way, a positive fashion, as long as you do not let fear restrict you, as long as you do not let, I don't really want to do it, and I don't want to upset and I don't want to upset the apple cart. That feeling is, if you find you go, I don't want to upset the apple cart, then hello, the apple cart's already pretty much upset. The apples are rolling all over the place, you know, so it's a bit late for that sentiment, and it's not something that you've caused in the first place. So believe me, anything else that you do is not going to upset the apple cart. That's been and done. That's gone. But you are able to build something beautiful here and get a rebirth in it of your own. So I don't think this will mean anything to you yet, Capricorn, but if it does, then comment down below, because it's always good to know when these readings find their home, and especially if there's some form of argument or conflict around you at the moment where you're going, oh God, no, just leave me alone. That's missing an opportunity, because there is something wonderful, some wonderful opportunity, new beginning, what have you. There's the opportunity for you to build something wonderful here, and that combat, that argument, is the start of that. So comment down below. Feel free to press the like button while you're here. It really helps the video get seen. And if you like my style of reading, please do press the subscribe button, because it really does help the channel. So thank you very much to everyone who has subscribed already. And don't forget, 6 p.m. UK time, which is actually BST, not GMT, 6 p.m. UK time. On Saturday, I will be live streaming with astrologer David Fisher, taking another look at Saturday stroke Sunday's new moon, and then doing some more readings. So come and join the fun. Cheers.